live from the drive. A bit later than planned. I was going to do it at 10 o'clock. Unfortunately, I was just making myself a cup of coffee and had a coffee-related disaster. Worst thing, I was pressing down to squish the coffee. I slightly overfilled and it flew everywhere. So that was not a great start to the day. Let's put some Chinese menu, I think it is, or a burger menu, on the dashboard so don't burn that. Hello and welcome, furious drivers, to, well, Sunday morning here in the Mercedes. I'm guessing there's going to be a fair degree of chat about this thing today. I'm actually sat in the W123, and as I sort of said in the video the other day when I was talking about taking it apart and discovering the rust, I've spent more time lying underneath this car than I ever have actually working on it. So yeah, it's quite nice to actually sit in it for a short time, even though it is full of most of its components. I'm just going to quickly, well, there's only a couple of us here. Hello, the 4 people who are currently watching. I'm just going to quickly jump on to YouTube and make sure I can hear the sound okay. This is going to be really weird. Where's my chat gone? Why have I not got chat up? Ugh. Chat, please. Chat viewing options, live chat. All messages visible, please. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Pentagram, hello. Sounds good. Okay, good. I won't be trying to get into that in that case then. Thank you. That's good news. First we've got here. I've left my glasses in the house. I might have to run away and grab them because I can't read the screen. Excellent. Oh, going all to Australia. That's good. Hello. Oh, got 2 from Australia. That's really good. Sorry, I hope you're not hearing my slurping too bad. And yes, all good here, apart from, well, we'll talk about the state of the car in a second. Bear with me a second. This is very unprofessional, but I'm going to run indoors and grab my glasses. I'll be like 30 seconds, but I can't read the screen. That's better. Hello again. That 4 from Australia I just seen. Wow. Ah, dear me. Yeah, I can read the comments now. So I've got 4 people in Australia. Someone who was in Australia a month ago. Good. Portugal. Wow. Yeah, this is a new hide and seek version of a live chat where I get you on board and then run away, which is a new way of doing it. Hello from Borough Green. Crikey, you could throw a stone and hit us from here. Gosport. Wow. So everyone's checking in around the world. Scotland. Wow. Another Matthew. Hello. Condolences on the state of the market. I think we'll chat about Nigel. Thank you very much indeed. Super chat from Nigel. That's super kind. Very much appreciated. Who knows where that's going to go? Whether it's going to be on the floor of this thing or something else. God, County Derry. I haven't fallen through the floor. No, I haven't fallen through the floor on this thing yet because the rust's on the other side. I'm not sure I dare to sit anymore. Well, Mark's just asked what we're going to do with the Merc now. Oh, hello from New Zealand. Of course, it's evening in New Zealand, isn't it? I'm catching all the evening times from the other side of the world. Yeah, I imagine there's going to be a lot of questions about the state of this thing because, well, yeah, sitting in here right now, it feels really good. You wouldn't know there's a problem because the rusty side's against the wall. The seats are pretty nice. The dashboard looks really good. The only bit of problem with the dashboard is that there's a bit of damp in the car and you can't quite see it from here. Let me turn this or not. Probably can't, no. No, that little bit of Zebrano wood on the centre of the dashboard's got a slight cut in it, but that'll glue back on fine. So, yeah, it's... Oh, got another Kent person here. Hello, who's that? Oh, Catnapper. Morning. Morning from Ash. We've got Borough Green as well. Yeah. So, as you know, I've put thousands of hours into this thing, and yeah, I was getting so close to it running, and it runs really well now. It drives. It's fighting the brakes when I'm driving on the handbrake so hard. You know this car wants to drive, but that rust is it's pretty bad. And I've shown it to a couple of professional people, as well as all the comments, and the comments have been really helpful, but also not. So, yeah, well, Laser Capri, you're Gravesend, aren't you? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's a big one because it's a massive amount of work. It's a labour of love, but yeah, it's how long do I want to spend under the car putting it back together. It's a very difficult decision because this car is it's a high rare spec. We've got the factory electric sunroof, we've got the two-tone Town and Country horn, we've got the ABS metallic paint. Yeah, it's a it's a good car. It's a good car to save, and it's a 230e, which a lot of people say is the engine to have. It's the sweet spot because the 6 cylinders don't give you a great deal more power. A little bit smoother, but not much more power, and a lot more fuel. Whereas the pre-injection ones just don't have the oomph. This is the place to be. So this is the car to save. It's just how much I want to be underneath this car for the next year. The thing what I'm going to probably have to do is get underneath it with a grinder and take all the underseal off the passenger side and then have a look. I mean, it could be a lot worse. We could find there's just no flaw down the entire length of the car. Hello Hamburg, Julian, hello. Sell the car to Ben at Tasty Classics. I think this might be worse than even he wants to mess around with. Yes, I would definitely regret parting company. I would definitely regret parting it out. Although, based on some of the comments I've had and messages at what the values of the car is worth in pieces, yeah, I do quite well. And I'm not really a very materialistic person when it comes to sort of being desperate for money. One of my headphones has just died, so hopefully you can still hear me. If not, I'll have to go to the built-in microphone on the iPad. Shout if you can't hear me anymore. But yeah, there's lots of money in it. Things like the engine is like £1,000, the fuel injection is like £500, all the wood is a few hundred quid, the lock set's a few hundred quid. There's so many hundreds of pounds in this car. I could, but that's not really what I'm about. I like to save us, but the question is, yeah, this is a little Melamania little contacts back of them, and they kind of get dirty and they clog up and they don't charge properly, which is a shame. So yeah, how's the I haven't really weeks as in the other day. The problem is because I had the Rover's engine apart and the Freelander's brakes are blasted all over there to working. So I've not moved on to them yet. I will very shortly. Yeah, I've just noticed this hub nut's gone live as well. It flashed up as an alert for me to go and watch that. So hopefully, see huge numbers of viewers disappearing from there. I'm up as well. Someone said I'm buffering. Yeah, Nigel, I know. I just had the alert on my phone saying hub nut's gone live. I didn't know he was doing this morning as well. That's an unfortunate clash. What time is it now? 10:15. That's a curious time to go live. Sounds intermittent now. That's interesting. I'll tell you what I might do is I'll turn Bluetooth off. No, I can't. Am I back on again? Yeah, it was very, very crafty. I have words with them about that. Morning, Matt. How are you? What's the year of the work? It's in 1983, which is a good year for W123s. 2 lives. This is very, yeah, don't cross the streams. We're doomed. Yeah, someone's saying definitely remove the carpet. The carpet actually is already out because, well, it was leaking into the car and the carpet was holding water, which is probably what caused the rust in the first place. So the carpet's been in my shed for as long as I've owned the car, but there's under seal on the inside of the car from the factory as well, and you can't see through that either. But yeah, have I got dodgy Wi-Fi now? Oh, crikey. So what I'll do, you're right. Oh dear me, let's get that. Am I live again? The phone just completely died for a second. Right, got me back. Yeah, sorry about that. That was the I moved the camera ever so slightly because I'm moving the driver's window is closer to the house than the passenger window. Am I back again? Hello, am I back? I can't see the Wi-Fi. Oh, excuse me. Right, where am I? Yeah, a lot of people, Alice has commented, this car is how people discovered the channel. A lot of people discovered the channel through this car, interestingly enough. And yes, it'd be a real shame to let it go. It would be a difficult job to do, but you know, if we can get there. Let's get the comments back on. All back again. Yeah, the car, this car is like 2 meters wide, and moving it to the driver's window rather than the passenger window puts you 2 meters closer to the Wi-Fi router. All back, that's good. Smashing Pistons, hello. Alan, I'm back, hurrah. Dark clouds, I was in the car park, my local shop, saw Mark 1 Nova with a Furious Driving sticker. I wonder who that was, because I know there's a Nova convertible, obviously has a sticker in it. Not a yeah, the Nova convertible who was on the channel recently. Oh, hello, Greece. Steve says 41-year-old classic. Once it's gone, it's gone. This is very true. Maybe away from the window, you're clicking a little tiny bit. Sorry. Matt, Retro Matt in the workshop today with the Sparkle spanner. Would you like to pop over to this workshop and get your spanner out? We need a little bit of attention over here. Wow. History needs you. He's in northern Scotland, so he's further from me than the guy in Frankfurt. C says, how I investigated the issue with white lights upgrades and affecting other traffic. Is it no, it's not the lenses, it's the reflectors mostly. Generally is the issue with that. Not being designed to focus properly. Running back through. Question, would the W123 fit in the barn? I don't think it would. It's a bit like the Crown Vic in that because the barn, you have to drive in forwards and then turn 90 degrees left immediately because the door's on the end of the side, and then the staircase is in the way. Anything particularly big is really hard. The Volvo 740 will just about go in there, but I think this is wider than the 740, so I think that would cause an issue, and I think it might be slightly longer as well, so I don't think we'd actually get in there. Oh, we've lost a few people since Ian went live. Ian. Now I was gonna say, don't forget, also, what did the professionals think about the rust? Well, the professionals, obviously they weld to a professional standard. This is Andrew's question. They think it's definitely savable, but it would only be as a passion project. It wouldn't be an economically viable project because it would be so many hundreds of hours. It would cost thousands and thousands and thousands. So charging a customer, it would probably cost more than buying a new car in terms of the hours it would take to weld. So this basically, it comes down to how confident I am in my own welding or how big my budget is, and the budget is 0. So that's step 1 out of the question. It's how confident I am. My welding on a good day is actually pretty good, but on a bad day, if everything's not going well, I haven't got the welder dialed in right, and I've not got the weather conditions perfect and all the rest of it, then I look at it and think, oh, I'm not that happy with it. So it's a bit of a roll of a dice. So I'm kind of 50-50 on how happy I am with doing this much structural work myself, because it would be a kind of doors off, brace the side of the car. Yeah, and it's an entire new sill basically, and then you've got the multi-layer sections in the back where the sill goes into the mounting. A few people did say, had I watched the soup videos over this W123, which is the same color as this, weirdly, over in Ireland, and I did watch them. I don't remember how bad his floor was. I know he did a lot of welding on that car, but I don't remember how bad the actual chassis was on it. Question, would I scrap it and buy a better 123? Do you know what? I probably couldn't afford to. That's the unfortunate situation. They all tend to rust. This is a big issue with these because of that rubber floor. They all rust. So either you buy one that's been garage stored its entire life for £20,000 maybe, 15 if you're lucky, or you buy one and restore it yourself. Looking on eBay at the moment, the only other car that's comparable to this is a 280e, which is a 6-cylinder fuel injected, and that's 13,500. It looks like a really nice car, but yeah, I would be looking at probably closer to 10 grand to get something that I could just drive away in, or I'd be looking at another project, and that might put me back where I started again. So probably I wouldn't be in a position to get another W123 again. Any news on cars going or coming to the channel? Well,
I'm possibly thinking of parting with the Volvo, not because I want to part with it, but because it's not a car that delivers any content, and it's not a fast, exciting car. It's a very, very capable car, and I love looking at it. I like looking at it and sitting in it more than I like driving it, which is probably the wrong thing. I did take it out yesterday, foolishly in the rain, because the tyres are a little bit old and were quite cheap. It went sideways several times on junctions, so I need to replace. Someone needs to replace the tyres on that. So possibly the Volvo might maybe go, maybe-ish. Not because I want to sell it, but because it's just not delivering content. The Rover 75 is still up at Stone Cold, because it is. What was I going to say? Yeah, the head gasket went. The mechanic looked at it to confirm the gasket, then didn't come back, and he seemed to be quite busy with other things. So I might have to ship it back down here and DIY it, or ship it off to someone else to do. I think just like Shipley. I didn't want to Shipley it anywhere. I wanted to get it done in house, to kind of, or in location, to save the aggro of moving a dead car. But it might come down to Shipleying it, or bribing Dad to go and rent another trailer, and we'll drive up to Oxfordshire with his. He's got a 4x4. Oh wow, a Tasmanian W123 fan. People who love W123s are really into them. They're so good. What cars am I taking to Rustival? Not decided as yet. We're probably going to take the Freelander and camp the night before, because that would be quite fun. I might take the 200 VI. That seems to be quite a solid runner. What was Ali Max? Sorry, what was I saying to Rustival? Undecided. I think my parents might take one of their cars this year rather than bringing one of my cars, and then we can have a little display of previously featured cars, because their cars have been on the channel as well. Yeah, other than that, don't really know. But I'll bring one. I'll probably bring the Crown Vic, actually. I'll drive the Crown Vic. Mrs. Furious can drive the Freelander, and got another YouTuber hopefully coming up to be on the stage, and he's coming from abroad, and he'll come over, and yeah, hopefully he'll be able to drive that car for me. Yeah, a lot of people would try and save it. Andy, you try and save it. I want to try and save it. It's just whether it's physically possible to save it. Thing is, Ali, needing the funds for repairing this professionally, that would run into so many thousands. So yeah, it would be, yeah, a bit ridiculous. Where am I? I'm in Kent. On the drive today, we've got the Crown Vic, the Punto, the MX-5, W123, and the ordinary boring Mercedes work car. How about a bit with both P60s? Yeah, that'd be quite good. I'm still struggling to make the 2-litre one work, and I don't know why. It just doesn't really want to fire up. The engine will fire, but it just doesn't want to crank and get going. So I need to do a video trying to troubleshoot that at some point. But I fear it'll be a boring video, because it'll just be me shouting into a dark engine bay a lot. Oh, hello, Bill. Hi. You're not first today. Hello, Charlie, as well. Oh, Axel, you got, what have you got? 2 Firefrost Red Rover 75 and 45 saloons. Oh, that's nice. Mark 1 Citroen C5. Oh, very nice group. Any progress with the Rover 420? You know, I think that's just gonna, no, it's a short answer, but I think one day I'll just go around there to see how it's going, and it'll be sat outside, and they'll go, oh yeah, we've had it done for a week. Why didn't you come and get it? So I need to go and chase it up, actually, but I could do with a bit more space. I was hoping the Rover 75 would sell, and then I have somewhere to put the 420. Would Mr. Lloyd buy the Volvo? Probably not. I think he prefers an automatic and a leather interior, so I think it's probably not going to be his thing. 5-pot, yeah. We're trying to be very, very sensible about it. I don't want to bin it off prematurely and then look back, watch it get crushed, watch it go through the crusher, and then go, actually, that looked really solid. It really put up a fight. On the other hand, though, I don't want to sort of devote a month to it and then decide actually it's really not doable. I'd say sitting in here right now, it feels like a really nice car. The electric sunroof works, the electric windows work. Central locking doesn't work, curiously, and I I locked it on the door key yesterday, and then discovered I couldn't unlock it on the door key. So very luckily, the rear door was open still. I was able to get back in. Charlie, thank you. I know, yeah, I've not. We got the alert on my phone. I didn't know Ian was doing a live this morning as well. Damn you. Maybe I'll just get a stream up and stream Ian, and you can watch Ian on here, and I'll get the view count. Oh no, full of Lurgy and Bolton. Well, stay in, Lord Bolton. Keep your Lurgy there. What else have we got chatting in? Oh, I was going to say, don't forget Rustival, because someone just asked what cars I'm taking to Rustival. It's only about 5 weeks away now. It's really, really soon. So if you've not got a ticket to Rustival yet, then do jump in and grab one now. Rustival.co.uk for ticket sales. So yeah, that's happening very soon indeed. We're still in the final stages of working out stage running order, who's going to be coming, trade stands, got stuff to buy, stuff to look at, and what else have we got? Oh yeah, food vans, trying to get better food situation. I've discovered that I can't eat gluten recently, so I'm going to make sure there's food available I can eat without being ill. So yeah, that's good. Oh, what have we got? Comments. Oh, Steve said, I got rid of all my cars that weren't economically viable. Unfortunately, that's the entire channel. So yeah, I mean, literally the only thing that counts as economically viable that's left right now is the MX-5 and the Punto, I think. The trouble is they're not broken. Anything French ever grabbed my attention? Yeah, there's quite a few things actually. The DS is the obvious choice. I'd love a DS. I also would love a Traction Avant. I think they're beautiful cars and really, really clever. Slightly controversially, I really would like one of the new electric Renault 5s. Those, just design-wise, forget the fact they're an EV, they look fantastic. I'm actually kind of debating what is the range, what is the load space. Could I ditch my diesel estate and get one of those, just because they look so good? Gaz says his sound has gone. It shouldn't do, because I'm using the internal mic on the iPad, and I'm sat right next to it, so it should be okay. Hopefully it's just an internet thing. Don't tell me you're keeping it. Well, no, as I said a few minutes ago, I'm not determined to keep it. I'm still debating of the value of the car in parts. I've looked at on eBay, and it's actually worth an awful lot of money as parts, and that will go a long way to other cars. On the other hand, though, it's a very rare spec, and I don't want to scrap a rare spec car. But no, I need to go and take all the underseal off the passenger side and really, really see how bad it actually is, because potentially there's nothing else there. I could be a real win, and that would be amazing. And I've just seen the absolute worst of it, and it's all solid metal, and it's going to be an easy job. But chances are it's going to be just gone front to back, and that will be pretty awful. So we'll find out. Thanos, W123s are horrifically expensive. Even projects are quite expensive, and the problem is they all rust in roughly the same places. It's like dealing with a Mark 1 MR2. So I would be very much out of the frying pan into the fire, quite likely, until I didn't know. Steve, I've not made my mind up yet. I keep looking at the prices of bits on eBay and thinking, yeah, I could really, I could do with a few £1,000s. Norman and Ernest. Which one's a Norman and Ernest? Simon, tell me. NA Turbo, yeah, the new Renault 5. It just looks so good, and the thing that really excites me is the fact that because we've got a Renault 5, there's the possibility of a Renault 5 GT following it. That would be exciting. I would be hard. I'd struggle to resist finding where the finance for that one come from. Coffee, nice. Jack, yeah, there are some reasonable looking new cars, but I couldn't live with the technology forced on us. Yeah, do you know what? Up until about 2021-2, it was annoying but tolerable. But from July, I have a video coming out about this shortly, I think. There's a whole bunch of new regulations about what the technology cars have to have. and I've driven quite a few new cars in the last couple of months, and it's just ridiculous, and it makes driving not fun. So I kind of feel like now I'm probably never going to buy a car newer than 2022 or something. But yeah, but that Renault 5 does it really good. Ali, if you need to break it, then do it, yeah. But if you find out how bad it is, that's the thing. I need to get the grinder, I need to sit under there for an hour or two and just really go to town on it and find out what the situation really is. L322, yeah, my friend's Jason's car. I don't know if Jason's up and about watching this morning. He's moved away a little way, so he's only up and down here a couple of times a week now, so I'm not seeing quite so much of him, unfortunately. We do always make sure we stop in for a coffee. It does need a bit of attention on the air suspension still. So it is, yeah, it runs fine, but it's got a couple of warning lights on the dash still. We're gonna have to come back and spend a day on it, and yeah, maybe fit a new air compressor possibly. We tried cleaning the connections, it didn't do anything. So probably we're into compressor or a sensor somewhere. We maybe need to get some more specialist diagnosis going on that car, but hopefully we'll get more. And yes, I was really tempted to get one after we drove that car. I was like, you know, I could see myself in this. Regulations, they've got new regulations, dark clouds, about speed. If you drift even 1 mile an hour of the speed limit, the car has to intervene in some way, even if it's beeping or pressing back on the accelerator or something. And the lane keep assist, braking assist, all kinds of assistance and safety technologies, which I don't think are making the car safer. I think it makes people less attentive, and no, it's bad. New cars are becoming a lot of smartphones. Yeah, basically, a lot of it's just focused on things that don't matter. Have I ever considered, considering the space is a premium everywhere, particularly on here, I could fit 3 K cars in the space of this car. A super sport K car, yes, I have. I would love a K car. The MX-5 is the closest I've come, because that's almost K spec, and I love driving that thing. I think they're fascinating and hilarious. I might go for a K truck actually, because they're a bit different. Keep the Merc and for the content. The problem is welding content doesn't do brilliant views. The results content, when I've got things finished, that does good views, but the intermediate, the weeks and weeks, and look, I've put another 3 centimeters of metal in, it doesn't necessarily get a great response. So yeah, in terms of content, having it done is good content, actually doing it potentially isn't. The beginning and the end will be good, but the middle bit, which takes all the time and effort, won't be. Well, that's Uni Iris. Well, drunk driving, I'm curious. I don't know the situation. If you're in a self-driving car and you're drunk and the car is driving, do you have to be responsible? That's a question for a future video. My mum's car has brake assist and it would not let her reverse out. It kept jolting to the stop of a parking space because it thought something was behind it. Oh yeah, that is really frustrating. My Mercedes has a thing where if you've got the boot open, it automatically puts the handbrake back on. And I was trying to maneuver the car with a mattress in the boot, and the boot wouldn't shut all the way, and it wouldn't let me move into a parking space. And it's really, really annoying. Can you give Reba a white? Hello, Reba. I hope I pronounced that right. Very hard choice. Maybe it's time to sell the Merc and get an Austin 7. Yeah, well, do you know what? That is another option, and I could fit an Austin 7 and a K car in the same bay as this car. And that garage there is not massively massive, but it's bigger than the ones they're building now. And I could probably fit an Austin 7 and a K car in there, which is food for thought. Yeah, not many people want to watch the people chopping under seal off. If I do that kind of thing, I normally speed it up to like 30 times and try and cut it down as much as possible. Howard, it's a quick change of subject. Rover Streetwise, excellent condition, 1 owner and ex-demonstrator, bit like my Rover 75 actually. Headliner is sagging, and do you know anyone who replaces them? I don't off the top of my head. I've done it a couple of times. It's actually quite easy to do if you can get the ABC post trim out and then free the roof down. Then it's actually quite an easy job. But if you just Google trimmers in my area, then you'll find someone who does it. I don't know what they cost. Parts wise, it's actually not expensive. I think it cost me something like £35 to do them on Deo. So not if it's Johnny Cab. That's a fair point. Yeah, you can do what you like in a Johnny Cab. Oh, Paulie, these regulations have been coming in for a couple of years. We've known about it since about 2022, so it's not one side or the other. Yeah, Beards and Bangers. The problem is other YouTube channels have got their own work to do. They don't want to be doing my work for me, and certainly not for free, which is a shame. People keep saying the Yorkshire car restorations, but I'm sure they're charging Alex and all the other people a fair amount of money to do that. Your Accord Aero deck, what kind of state is it in? Good morning to ye. Where are we? Yeah, people do want to see, says Steve, people want to see big progress every video. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. If you're working on your own in the drive and working a day job as well, getting big progress in a short time is actually quite difficult. Turn the Merc into a boat. I think there may be issues with that one and certain leakage issues. We need to upside down perhaps. Buy a 2CV. Well, dude, don't mind a 2CV. They're very entertaining. I prefer a Renault 4 to be honest though. Nothing against 2CVs, but if I was going to buy a small French car of that era, I would probably go for a Renault 4. Or one of the slightly older ones even actually. Charlie says, yes, you're still in charge of a motor vehicle. Okay, yeah. I wonder when legislation actually changes for self-driving cars to be self-driving, would you even need a driving license for it? That's kind of the point they're going for, isn't it? Get a Suzuki Wagon R, yeah, pretty fun. Yeah, K-Trucks are cool. Lee, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, it is a shame about the Mercedes, but you can't save them all, but I will not make a rapid, hasty decision about this. Oh, Richard says you can buy replacement air compressors. Yeah, for the L322. I've checked into that. Yeah, they're not too expensive. Hopefully we can maybe do that. I just want to make sure it is the thing we need to change. Yeah, Thanos, yeah, the Renault 5, stunning. Residuals on EVs, yeah, that's actually really, really bad. Someone was telling me the day about, I think it's a 2 or 3 year old Volkswagen ID4 that they got a quote for part Xing because they own it outright. And it was worth less than my 7-year-old Mercedes estate with 130,000 miles on it. And this EV ID4 had like 30 or 40,000 miles on it. It was shockingly different. So yeah, I think if I was going to buy a Renault 5 EV, I would lease it and then hand it back because yeah, you don't want that whole thing of residuals bottoming out on you. Using our wood chisels to break off the undersill. The problem with the undersill on these cars, Ali, is because it's like that rubber stuff, it doesn't really chip or tear easily. It's horrible. I've tried chipping with a screwdriver and you just get tiny bits off. You just need to go in with I don't know, well, the grinder really, which is also horrible because it makes a horrible smoky, gooey mess flying absolutely everywhere. Oh, I was going to say, I forgot about this. I had a little bit of a problem with the website this week. Obviously, there are members and Patreons out there for this channel helping support, do all the car stuff on here. And every sort of week or so, and very erratically, I do give the members and patrons a little kind of update on what's going on. And one of the perks of membership, and you can actually gift memberships to other people who are watching if you hit whatever button it is on your end of this. I'll give them 5% discount or 10% discount, I forget which is on the website, off the merch store, which is very kind of me, I have to say. And I went to go and update with a new code for everyone to put in at the checkout, and discovered that the website had been down for a couple of days, and I hadn't realised. Thankfully, James, huge thank you to you for doing all of the clicking 2 boxes I hadn't noticed to become unclicked, and suddenly the website works again. And so yeah, that was a bit of a disaster. So yes, website is up again. Merch store is available again, and if you're a member of Patreon, there is a new code which is in the latest videos which I put out the other day, and so you can get a discount on anything on the store. Dino Dad, no, I appreciate everyone's up against it these days. I mean, I am as much as anyone else financially, so no, I appreciate you watching the videos. If you can't jump in with a membership or a Patreon or whatever, I'm not offended, I'm not upset, but if you can, that's fantastic, because these things, yeah, running this channel, it ain't cheap. But yeah, if you just watch a video, watching a video does a huge amount. Share a video on Facebook, that does a lot to kind of boost the numbers watching, and that is a really, really helpful thing to do if you're in that position. Where's the chat gone? The chat keeps turning off today, weirdly. There we go. Oh, Retro Matt said, oh, hang on. 2 mile drive to my workshop this morning. I saw an Alpha 156. Oh, yeah. And an Opel Manta, a Wagon R Plus, and an early Octavia VRS. Wow, that's a good morning's haul, especially in the rain. Ooh, do you know what? My mum had a Manta when I was growing up, so I'd be very tempted by that. Wagon R Plus is a very cool little case R. I'd be tempted by that. Octavia VRS, I'm actually sort of tempted by one of them as a work car for every day. But having had a 156 and adoring it, I would love another 156, so I'd have to go for that one. M says, have I met the Salvage Rebuilds guys? Yeah, they are in Kent. They're probably about half an hour from where I am, from what I know about them. But no, I've never met them. Never even sort of run across them in passing by mistake, which is really odd. Zappel, in all seriousness, maybe sell a car to pay for the welding. Suggesting the Volvo. The thing is, the Volvo is worth, I don't know what, £1,750, £2,000. This is actually more money's worth of welding than that. This is, if this was professionally welded, it would be several multiples of thousands of pounds. I'd probably have to sell a couple of cars, and then I've never driven a W123. I don't even know if I like them or not. Which would be a huge sacrifice and possibly a mistake. Come on, chat, stop being silly. Oh, really nice Wagon R for sale near Griffey. Okay, I have to go on a marketplace later on. Can raffle the Volvo. That's actually an idea, yeah. I do kind of want to vet the buyer to make sure they're a suitable owner for it. Yeah, I wonder if you, yeah, there's the raffle. I've done a link. If you follow my my social medias, Whiteland Restorations have done a raffle to win a paint job, which I've actually entered because I could do with a couple of cars being painted. But yeah, that's an idea, actually, raffle it. I wonder if you can set a minimum so you get at least a certain amount. That might be a thing to look at. Paulie says, I've made carports cool again. Carports were never not cool. Car coon and a dehumidifier. The cars that are indoors are actually nicely dry. They're not a problem. It's when they're out on the drive. Being under the carport is making a big difference. Like the MX-5 is parked next to me under the carport, but a bit of water does blow in, but it's not really a problem. Only says I'd 100% enter a raffle for the Volvo. This is an interesting idea. Jaguar X300 needing a home. Ooh, what I need is cars that don't work so I can fix them. How broken is your X300? Oh, had a CT, an Alpha GT where the swirl flaps went to the engine. That's what everyone did back in the early noughties. First thing you bought a diesel car, you whipped the swirl flaps off them because they would always get, BMWs were really bad for it. Sell it as a project car, that is an option, although it is worth significantly less as a project car. As a project car, it's worth probably a grand, 1,500 quid. As parts, it's probably worth 5,000 or 6,000, if not more. How's my mate get on with his W123? He's got it running. We put a new set of tyres on it, new battery, and got it started and sort of driving up and down the drive. He's not MOT'd it yet for some reason, but he's got a problem with the leaky sunroof. That is still an issue. I mean, if this does go for scrap, then maybe we can cut the roof off this and donate the roof off this to his car. That might be a possibility. Not a pleasant thought, but it might be the way to go, because this has got functioning, working, non-leaking electric sunroof up here. So that's a maybe that could happen kind of deal. Let's get my chat back, please. Chat, please. I've lost the comments. Oh, there's a 1930 Austin 7 Chummy for sale down the road from Charlie. Oh, I'd love one of those. Why was the reg plate hidden? Because it was a barn find and we never knew who the previous owner was or what previous life it had. So, yeah, I just decided rather than risk anyone coming to claim it or say it was involved in something terrible, I would just cover that over and avoid that. It's quite a good number plate. That's actually also worth some money to sell. Am I planning a Furious Driving meetup, or has Rustival become the default? I was planning a couple of meetups, but this year just got really, really busy with kind of non-YouTube work stuff. I was away for a couple of weekends. My wife's been away for a number of weekends, and just haven't really had time to fit one in. But I would really, really like to do some more, because I want to go back to the Motorist. I want to go back to Gilks. There's a coffee place we went down to in Surrey. I want to go back there, and there's a few other places I want to go back to, and it's just finding the time to fit it in. But yes, I do want to do more. No, Rustival hasn't replaced it, but it has taken an awful lot of time actually getting everything up and running in order to get Rustival going, and that's a lot of time it's taken away from stuff. Maybe next year, when Rustival's more kind of organised and settled, then it'll take less planning and we'll have more time. Hopefully we'll have more time. The comments back. An overnighter, like a Rustival overnighter. Well, that's an idea, yeah. They do camping at the British Motor Museum. What's going on the 420? Someone did ask us a little while ago. Yeah, it's with the paint shop still. They've not been in touch to say it's done, so it's kind of what I'm waiting for. Which car? Oh, that's a difficult question. Which car on my fleet is my least favourite? That's which is your favourite child? Which is your least favourite child? That's a tough question. I have to think a lot about that. They've all got good points and bad points. So I'm thinking through everything. Freelander because it's got an automatic. Punto because it feels very basic. This is the bad points only. There are lots of other good points which outweigh these. Don't get hung up on me saying these things are bad things. Crown Vic because it's too big. Volvo because it's too slow. Modern Mercedes because it's automatic and not exciting enough in that respect. No, there's none that's really bad. Everything's got its own winning features in its own way. But yeah, don't know really. Tough question. Impossible question. Yeah, who do you love more, mummy or daddy? Yeah, don't ever ask that. Yep, Edward is a very, very hard choice. Oh, Smashing Pistons hated his Punto. We had two of them. We really liked it. I do really like it because it's got no power steering. The turning circle is, it's not turning circle, the turns lock to lock are just crazy, which makes it a little bit hard work to drive. Average rebuilds, yeah, they do seem to know that. Well, they've been professional car repairers for years. That's their main job. So yeah, they do know their stuff. Bucharest, thank you. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going back to the comments again. I've got back as far as 100% raffle Volvo. That's an idea. I might actually look into raffling the Volvo because that's an idea. Because I've had a conversation with someone who was interested in it, but he didn't really want to pay quite as much. I mean, it's a good home, so that's a good thing. But he didn't want to pay quite as much as I was hoping to get for it. Maybe a raffle is the way forward. I had one of my serial car review owners mentioned he was interested in the Punto the other day. And I didn't want to sell the Punto because I do quite like owning that, but then I know it's a good home. So, what's happening with the Rover 2000? I keep struggling to get this starter motor to work, so that's stuck in a garage just around the corner, which makes it really hard to work. There's no power, no light, not many tools. So yeah. Uni says, my least favourite car in his fleet is MG Midget 1500. Wow. Oh, never ever runs right. It hates me and it wants its last owner back. Yeah, I think some cars are like that. They just don't want to work for you. Maybe they like someone else, and maybe they just don't like running at all. 4.6 Rover is running okay, but I think I mentioned it in the video before last. The alternator isn't square, I've noticed, and so it's putting weird tension on the alternator in the belt. So I'm kind of loath to drive it very far in case it either snaps the belt or breaks the alternator. Other than that, it seems to be really good. Has the C Estate got any annoying driver safety tech? No, because it says 2017 car. It's old enough not to have lane keep assist or anything else really. I think it's got brake assist. If you leave braking too late, it will do brake assist. Oh, and it's got the thing I've mentioned previously on this video. If you try and drive it with the doors or boot open, because it's an auto, it'll either put the handbrake on or put it in park, and that is really, really hard, because sometimes if you're trying to maneuver into a tight space and you open the door to see where you are against the world, the cameras aren't enough, the mirrors aren't enough, you need to actually look outside the car. It just puts it in park for you and you stop. That's the only really annoying thing it has. That's kind of as far forward in technology as I want to go, because lane keep assist is just dangerous. I've never driven a car with lane keep assist that wasn't irritatingly dangerous, because they just jump in and do things you're not expecting. It's startling, and it pulls you in the wrong direction. I've had lane keep assist if I've tried to go around a bike without indicating, try and pull me into the bike. So yeah, Hyperc Auto gets loads of good cars. Yeah, I don't know how he finds them all. That's interesting. Nicholas's Rover P4, I guess it worked perfectly for the previous owner always, and it never works for you. If I had to only keep one, it would probably be the Rover 2000, because that's the car I've had for so long. Oh, Hyperc Autos does raffles and minimum tickets. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because then you know you're going to cover the cost of the car. That's a really good idea. I might look into that. We get Chemical Brothers to play Rustival for us. What's making 20 mpg? I've missed the comment. Oh, Richard, wearing my Stack t-shirt. Oh, I like that t-shirt. I'm wearing Broken Rovers today. Yeah, there's a couple of good t-shirts which I've never had in stock personally, but I'm gonna have to get some printed up for Rustival. Yeah, they're available on the web store. The Stack of Cars. I love the Stack of Cars. I need to update that though to have the MX-5 in it. Also, there's the I've got the mug here, the Spirito de Punto, 30 years of Punto and Alpha 145. That's a great t-shirt. So back in the comments again. So I've lost track of where I am. Oh, my Honda Stepwagon does 20 mpg. That's really bad. That's as bad as the 4.6 V8, the P6 and the Crown Vic. That's terrible. Oh, Tom says he bought a 2000 Fiesta and then realised both sills are rotten front to back. Oh, he welded them up when using it. Oh, that's good. I'm glad it's working well. Oh, Oni's got his Crown Vic t-shirt on. Excellent. My wife keeps stealing the Volvo t-shirts. You know, I've brought a few of the Volvo t-shirts home, and my sort of wife and son keep nicking them because the small sizes fit them both really well. Wow. Nicholas is on the 11th owner. I've got to love having a car that's 44 years older than him. Simon, not made a decision yet. I was having a bit of a chat about it earlier in the video. Basically, what I'm going to have to do is get up on jacks, wait for the neighbours to go out and get a grinder and just take all the underseal off down the whole length of the car and really find out how bad it is, because it might not be any worse than what we've seen already, but the chances are there's a lot more, and I need to know before I make a decision. Oh yeah, lane keep assist is a nightmare, because yeah, it picks up all the lines it shouldn't be picking up, and it drags the car left and right. It's horrible. And the other thing is the speed monitoring that they're now putting on cars doesn't work. If you're driving through a roadworks, same situation, it'll pick up the 20 mile an hour roadwork sign from inside the roadworks and start beeping at you that you should be doing roadwork 20 miles an hour, not roadworks. Someone should do the roadworks. Oh god, that sounds scary. A horror story with an ID3 freaked out in roadworks on the motorway, and no way to, yeah, the way to turn it off is really convoluted. It's never easy, but I think ID3 in the Volkswagen is you had to go through a menu on the screen, and it's like 9 menus deep, and it kept fighting the car. That's scary. Gaz, I've been the 12th owner on 10-year-old cars. Yeah, yeah, my R50 Mini. I think I'm like the 14th owner or something on that, because that belonged to up in the Fens, where the farm workers would come in for the season and then move away again. It was sold between the farm workers every year, so it got a new owner every year, every season. It just cruised around, got oil change, but nothing else. Quite fancy getting a 50s or 60s car next. What would you recommend? Well, depends on your level of what you want to do, how hard you want to work driving it, and how much work you want to do fixing it. If you go to late 60s, I would always say the Rover P6 because they're brilliant. Maybe something like a Hellman Minx or one of the other Roots Group cars, because those are really nice cars. I always think they're slightly better engineered than the Fords and the Vauxhalls. Otherwise, maybe go for an MG Magnet. They're really, really pretty. Just bought a Swift SZ5, never used lane assist, just cruise control. I don't know if the SZ5 has got lane assist, depends on what year it is. Is the W123 in the garage still? No, you can't tell, can you? The car, it's out in the driveway now. I've moved the Rover V8 into the garage because so it's more deserving. It's a more valuable car, which works, and it was getting absolutely filthy out here, and that lovely black paint was getting no favours because we're under the carport, there's fields surrounding the house, and whenever they harvest stuff, just dirt blows through and the car gets coated in dirt, even though it's not driving anywhere. So I figured it would be better for the Rover V8 to live under there, and because this isn't going anywhere, I can put this under a cover, and it doesn't matter about taking the cover over and off. Oh, Volvo 940 Wentworth, I like those. But yeah, 10 to 15 mpg when you're pushing it. Yeah, I've seen the dry ice working as well. It's a clever system, that. Oh, 2021 Swift. Do you know, I don't think that will have lane keep assist on it. P4 is a lovely car, really, really smooth. Oh, lived apple picking in Kent. Yeah, that is coming up to apple picking season. I bought my first car, apple picking. Spent the summer between college and going away to, what was it? Yeah, A-level college I was at, I think. Yeah, just in the fields picking apples, bought a car. I would really, really like a Riley RME. Yeah, with MX-5 transport. Yeah, that's a good, discreet car. Q car. I had a 23 5 Series diesel estate, all black and dual screen, quite nice to drive. It's so nice. It had literally no driver age. Wow, that's good. 23 plate 5 Series, no driver age. That's really good. I'm still broken. Mate's got himself a P38 2.5 DSE Range Rover, 24 mpg. Yeah, that's really bad. What's something wrong with it? Or if it's just nailing it everywhere. Andrew says, hope you're going to carry on with the W123. I'm going to check into it more. I'm not going to make a full decision yet. Going back to the Fiesta with no sills. A couple of years ago, before I was doing YouTube, I bought a couple of Ford KAs, original KAs, thinking I'd flip them for a bit of money. Turned out both of them were unbelievably rusty because they rust out above the fuel tank across the cross member of the chassis, and it's a monster job. I flogged them both straight away, as was. I lost money on both of them. Hello, Chris, you're right. Oh, camped in Iden and Playden. That's down near other side of Tunbridge Wells, I think, isn't it? South Tunbridge Wells. When I was a kid, my neighbour and 3 of his colleagues in West Midlands serious crime squad all had Rovers like yours. But prosthetic limb tan. Oh, they're undercover or something. Oh, that's interesting. Uni says, I own the most dull daily driver, a Dacia Duster. Only review can give is definitely a car. My neighbour has one of those. He uses it for work. That piles all his gear in it every day. Good reviews in terms of reliability and very, very good value for money on those things. Incredible. Paul, I fancy Austin Princess Vandenplas, sorry, 4 litre R. Let's not get into the Vandenplas / Vandenplas argument. I know which is the correct one, and it's not Vandenplas. Yeah, lovely cars. Mark 1 Volvo C70 Coupe on the cusp of values rising and becoming proper classic. Yeah, they are. The trouble is there are not many of them left. I think I have problems with, is it timing belts or something? Well, definitely pretty rust. Buy Vecchi from Mr. Kitch. I think I've got enough problems without buying any more problems. LT77 for the V8 or going something more modern? Something more modern. LT77s are not as easy as they used to be to find. People always used to say, oh, if you're doing a 5-speed upgrade on a Rover P6, stick an SD1 gearbox in it. Trouble is, P6s are now more plentiful than SD1s. The LT77 is a little bit agricultural. There are newer, potentially cheaper and stronger options out there now. So just need to find a bit, sell some bits of this thing and buy some. Oh, rust around the fuel flow. Beauty of older cars, well, it might cost more in fuel. You're not paying 600 a month for HP, and yeah. My granddad owned a 98 Rover 218 Coupe, and as far as you never had a head gasket fault. Early ones didn't. It's only when they cheapened things out they started really having a problem. What's my thought on the future of classic vehicle ownership? The cost of fuel with the world going electric. I don't think the world's going to go as electric as people think. I don't think electric's the right answer for everyone. I was talking to someone in the commercial world the other day, and they were saying that gas, not hydrogen, but what kind of gas was he talking about? Trucks are moving to gas because batteries don't have the range and they're too heavy. So that's an option. And so there's potential changes for modifications for cars to run on gas, but I think there's going to be petrol around. I don't think it's going to be a major problem. I think the classic cars are here for a long time, and petrol cars are here for a long, long time as well. Fastest I've ever driven, about 185. I wasn't really looking after 180 on a runway in a Nissan GTR, and then weirdly I was a passenger on the same place in a Bentley Continental GT not long after that as well, which when I did a speed awareness course was not the answer they were expecting. Yeah, Van den Plas is the correct spelling because it's Dutch, isn't it? And that's the correct spelling. It means like on the water or by a pond. How much I'm looking to sell the Volvo for? I'd like to get around 2,000 for it. But obviously, where prices of cars are going up and down at the moment, it's really hard to say exactly. Have I considered doing a 6-speed swap on the R50 Mini? Not on that one because of the originality, because it's such an early car. It's like car 202 off the line. I'm trying to keep it really, really original because I could go and accessorize it with period accessories, but I'm also kind of loath to do that as well. If I had a slightly later 2001, 2002 Mini, I would definitely do the 6-speed swap on it, because the Midland gearbox is like a time bomb, isn't it? So. Someone daily drives an E-Reg Maestro past my house every day. Oh, good on them. Oh, LPG. They're talking about they've been closing gas for cars places down other places. That's LPG. I think the truck gas they're using is slightly different to LPG, because I did ask that. It's not the same thing. But yeah, I've known a few people with LPG cars, and they really struggle to get it these days. It wasn't my Nissan GTR, I should add, unfortunately. The thing about the GTR is it's so fast, you almost don't notice how fast you're driving. The first run I did up the runway, it was 150, and a cone blew across the runway in front of me. I did a little swerve around it and suddenly realised how fast I was going when I did a little swerve, and I really shouldn't have done a little swerve. But yeah, 180. The only reason I slowed down, because it was still accelerating, was because the end of the runway was like a heat haze and I couldn't see where the runway was ending, so I just had to back off because of that. Morning to the newcomers to the chat. We're going an hour, really. Wow, crikey. Oh, that Volvo's worth 2,000 already long. Thank you, I appreciate that. Dino Dad, we still have LPG as petrol stations to accommodate the last of the Falcons and Commodores. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it is a great fuel, but yeah, it didn't really get adopted as much as it could have been over here. Dad had a D-Reg Maestro VP and then an MG 2 litre with turbo, and then briefly swapped to then a 420 GSI Sport. Yeah, that's a nice car. Nicholas, the Volvo 740 is actually really uneconomical. I feel like I put petrol in it every time I take it anywhere at all. Didn't Dad's Army convert Jones's van to gas? Yes, that was really common in the Second World War, doing gas conversions. There was even gas production vehicles where they had like coal and wood. I forget the technology they were using for it, but basically they had a big steamer burner thing on the back of it that was burning something that made gas, and that piped gas to the engine. So yeah, there's some really inventive things in the Second World War. Gosh, we had a Maestro Vandenplas. It's ingrained to say Vandenplas. The 89,000 miles, 3 years, never went wrong. They weren't bad cars, really. But Wolsey, yeah, Wolsey would be good fun. Everyone in Birmingham said Vandenplas, which is the correct pronunciation. Back into the comments again. A wood gas, yeah, that's what it was called. They did it to a lawnmower. Now, that's a project and a half. A pointless project, but a fun one. Very Colin Furs. Some big car makers are just stopping selling EVs so they don't have to pay the EV tax if they don't sell enough. I didn't know that's how it worked. I knew that there was a fine coming in from pretty much now, that if you don't sell a correct percentage ratio of EVs to petrols, then every petrol car or ICE car gets like a £10,000 fine on the manufacturer. But I didn't know that if you didn't sell any EVs, that you were exempt from the fine. That's a good loophole. But I know Ford are hilarious. Ford having cancelled all the small cars in America and now realising people aren't buying all the big trucks. And now they're saying we should definitely be building small cars. People like small cars. Oh yeah, World War II, most of the buses ran on wood or coal gas, yes. Yeah, apparently it is a 15,000 penalty for car makers who every ICE car they sell, or every one over the ratio they sell or something. Yeah, that's mad. Because Ford, they were talking about just bumping the price of petrol cars to make them undesirable, which is ridiculous. I mean, I was at a show the other day and I was talking to a Ford dealer at the show, and I said, "Oh, do you still make the Focus ST Estate?" Thinking they canned it. And the guy said, "Yeah, we do, but unfortunately it will cost you 600 quid a year in tax because it's over £40,000. Which I thought was ridiculous. Why is the luxury car tax being applied to a Focus Estate? That's a work car. Yeah, the 740, I reckon it struggles to hit 20 mpg around town. Oh no, the vintage lawnmower, no, I sold that in the end. It kept on going wrong. I couldn't make it run reliably, so I put it back on Marketplace. Oh god, 2 questions about the C5 at once. Yeah, I've not touched the C5 in a while actually. I need to get back onto that one. I kind of forgotten about it. I pushed it upstairs in the barn and then neglected it. I need to basically making a new chassis for it because I couldn't get the motor to bout pull in properly. Yeah, Paulie, yeah, the B200E, it is a thirsty but tough engine. Oh, do you know, at Ford Fair, there was the new EV Capri on a Trust Ford stand, and I stood near it a while to hear the comments, and every single one was negative. No one liked it. Yeah, the petrol death machine just killed itself in the end. it would not run. I could get it to start and it would run like 2 strips up and down the garden and die, and then I had to spend ages tinkering with it and got fed up with it in the end. Yeah, Thanos, yeah, Aston Martin, that's the best response from anyone ever. We don't care about the fines. Our customers don't want EVs, and we'll just pay the fines. We'll put the price up. We don't care. Our customers can afford £10,000. Sorry, I've gone quiet. I'm reading the comments again. Trying to find back where we got to. Yeah, what would do most buses around Woodgates? We said that, yeah. Oh, this is good. We used to allegedly drive the multiple cars and vans as fast as we could on the runway at the RAF Whitton. Senator was the fastest, yeah, not surprised, but they were quick cars. That's straight six in that, I think. Montego could be pushed fast, but the scariest for the Sherpas, yeah, they were not designed to go quickly. They were, yeah, not a high-speed machine. Have I ever considered a Rover 600? No, I haven't. Not because I don't like them. They're just not exciting particularly. I've driven Joseph Lloyd's one, and I've sat in quite a lot, and they're very nice, comfortable cars. But I generally need an estate car for work, and it doesn't tick an exciting box for anything else on the rest of the fleet. Everything else needs to be weirdly interesting, fast, fun, silly. It's very sensible. Had a B plate 1984 740 GL 2.3, about 25 mpg. Ooh. Have I tested Aston Martin's Signet? No, I would love to though. That was a funny little car. It was a Toyota IQ, I believe, which was doled up by Aston Martin. They bought the IQs in and then took them apart and rebuilt them with all Aston Martin leather and wood. Made them very, very Aston Martin-y. And the idea was, it's like having Aston called it like having a tender to your yacht, so that you have your Aston Martin for the longer journeys and your Signet for just popping down to Fortnum's for a packet of foie gras or whatever. In reality, I think it was because at the time there was an average emissions mandate that car companies had to hit, and by having a tiny engined IQ Signet on the fleet, they could meet that. It was a clever bit of dodgery and a weird little car. Oh yeah, the 620 Ti. It's got the 2-litre turbo T series in it, so that's very, very fast, very discreet. Have I seen the insane Signet, a massive engine rear-wheel drive one? No, I haven't. No, I need to go and Google that one in a bit. Yeah, no, the government and car manufacturers are out of touch. But yeah, most people, I think I hear all the time is, I don't want an SUV, and all the new EVs coming out mostly seem to be SUVs and crossovers. So they're making this change to EV less appealing, not just by changing the fuel that people do or don't want, but changing an entire format that people don't want. Very frustrating. Oh yeah, Dino Dad, half the reason moved to Oz. Yeah, Aussies like their big engines. And also, if you're driving into the outback, you don't necessarily want to be driving an EV. You want fuel you can carry in a bucket. Yeah, Ford are in a weird place at the moment. They're only making bigger cars. And conversation with a motoring journalist friend the other day, I said that Ford were crazy for killing the Fiesta. And they said, well, why are they? Because there's no margin on a Fiesta. It costs virtually as much to build a bigger car as it does to build a smaller car, and there's no profit margin in it. And so he thinks they was arguing they were quite sensible, but I said that doesn't bring people into the brand. Young people buying the first car, they're not going to buy, if they don't buy a Fiesta for the first time, they're never going to be lured into the brand to buy a Focus, and then they're not going to buy whatever bigger than a Focus these days. So yeah, they kind of kill their route market. I showed some Aston Martin Lagondas in a video. I've had 2 situations where people have had Lagondas in kind of museums. There's the Studio 454 where we've got about 20 of them, and the guy who was trying to restore one, which is kind of on ice at the minute. No, I've never been able to drive one yet. I would love to though. New Skoda Superb looks impressive, and it does it really nice. And they've done that kind of concept high power Q car one as well. Excuse me. It does look amazing, and they do a really good estate on it. Unfortunately, they do automatic now, which is really annoying. I was all set to go and bother my local Skoda dealer until I discovered there's no manual option. I thought there's no advantage to me getting into one of them, because the thing I want to change out of my car is the gearbox. So buying another car for more money is, yeah. Saw someone driving an original Ford Puma the other day. It looked better than I remember. Funny how that works. But they looked good to start with. They were always really pretty cars. The new Puma is not a patch on it. Yeah, no, Ford have got some weird ideas at the moment. I kind of think the idea behind the Capri is that non-car people are not going to be bothered by the name Capri. They'll just have vague memories that their dad used to have something called a Capri. The kind of people who are upset about it and used to have Capris will never buy an SUV crossover EV anyway, so it doesn't matter about alienating them. So they just, but they will post loads about it, so they'll get loads of internet clicks and, you know, column inches. So it's kind of potentially clever marketing, but yeah, they are alienating an entire generation of people. Mech Tech got a nice Puma, just done loads of welding to it. That is the problem with Pumas, is they do rust. When I got the Hyundai Coupe for Cheap Car Challenge a few years ago before COVID, car I was looking at was a Puma, but turned out to have sill rust, and I just had to let it go because it was going to be, yeah, tip of the iceberg kind of situation. I was never going to get that car ready in time. I believe car system based on weight to help promote the trend. I think in France they've got a new system in Paris where over a certain weight you get taxed more heavily. I don't think the UK system is based on that yet. But maybe as more cars transition to EV, of course, and they're stopping the free tax for EVs next year, 2025. That's when the free tax for EVs then runs out. Then they're going to have to look at that, because obviously there's no emissions from an EV. So weight is going to be where they have to start taxing these things on. Yeah, Ford, is it not the Puma, it's the one of the bigger ones is based on the ID4, which is, so doesn't that use the same interface and technology? Yeah, it's interesting. Vauxhall brought back the Viva name for a small sort of crossover thing. I thought Vivas, I don't know, maybe it's just because maybe my dad just didn't like Vivas, so I remember that, but I don't remember them being particularly well regarded at the time. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, the Puma advert with Steve McQueen was one of the best adverts of whatever, really. And yeah, killing off the Focus was a ridiculous idea. Yeah, and I know of a conversation with someone high up at Ford who was saying, "Don't worry, we've got the Puma and the Cougar. We don't need the Focus and the Fiesta." But so many people don't like them. No one dislikes a Puma. No one dislikes a Fiesta, and no one dislikes a Focus. They can be ambivalent and they can ignore it, but no one actively dislikes it. And lots of people actively dislike those new small ones. Oh, that's guy down the road from Uni. He's got a Rover Tomcat and a Ford Cougar. That's a nice looking drive. Yeah, Explorer and Capri both on the ID platform. Yeah. Black Lines, tax and weight. I don't need a doctor's note about the driver. Oh, did I see Seaside Garage's W123 Estate same day as my Doom video? No, I haven't seen that one yet. I am subscribed to Seaside Garage, but YouTube is doing a lot of weird stuff recently with people's subscriptions, and I don't see a lot of the stuff I'm subscribed to. And I know from my own statistics, a lot of people who are subscribed to me aren't seeing my videos coming out. The viewing figures reflect it, and also the statistics on how people find the videos reflect it as well. So YouTube is doing some weird stuff, and I haven't seen Seaside Garage's W123. I will go and watch that when I get off this. I'll go and have a look at that. Saturday Night Viva, excellent punnage. Can I get a new body for the Merc and start swapping parts over? Ooh, that would be a tough call. Bear in mind they've been out of production for 40 years. Yeah, I would struggle. I would say I would struggle. Shot or bead blasting, maybe, don't know, possibly not. Based on my experience of shot blasting the classic mini in the barn, I would say no, probably not. The ice technique, the CO2 ice might work. Struggling to, okay, this is a serious question, some consumer advice. Struggling to find a petrol engine car or motability scheme, the virtual electric. I get range anxiety at 250 miles of fuel in my tank. No A100s. Look at, if you're forced into the the electric range, look at the MGs, because they have surprisingly good range for the price. So you might find you can live with one of them. Yeah, and it depends how far you actually go. If you're charging at home, then you've always got a couple 100 miles battery in the car. It depends. I don't know what you do for work, what you do for travel, so that obviously makes a big difference to how easily you're going to get around and charge it, and if your motability. I don't know what your mobility is like as well, whether you're able to get in and out and charge the thing easily or not at motorway services. But also check MG's petrol range. I know they're SUVs, but they do I think motability on S. Oh no, and Dacia as well. Did Dacia do motability? We'll get a Duster. Yeah, and the range they quote on an EV is never quite what you get. Kia's though, Kia's range quoting is generally extremely good, extremely accurate. I had the Kia Soul EV, and I tried pushing that. Hard down the motorway, and it's still estimated correctly what the range was going to be when I got there. Dino Dad, we had a T-Rage Viva green dual headlight black vinyl roof. Sounds like a cool car until Dad hit black ice and wrapped it around a lamppost. That's what I remember being about Vivas, is they were never great in a straight line or staying in a straight line. Oh, that's interesting. The only video notifications that Uni gets are mine. Okay, yeah, maybe because you remember. That's possible. I don't know, actually. Yeah. M. Herbert, yeah, just bought a 55 plate Rover 45. Oh, yeah, that's a nice car. Sadly, you don't see any around. 55 is quite a late car as well. When did Rover go kaboom? I was earlier than that, actually. It might have been. I'm going to Google that. What year did the Rover Motor Company close?
Here's what I found.
Wikipedia says. Wikipedia says nothing. When did Rover close?
Here's what I found.
It's telling me the Land Rover. Oh, someone tell me in the comments. I think 2005 though might be after they closed and that's sat in stock. Yeah, they don't see anymore. And ULEZ, actually, 2025 Rover 40. Sorry, 2005 Rover 45 might actually be ULEZ acceptable. So I'm hung up on that one question. Oh, Dacia do motability. A lot of people get the jogger on it, apparently. Nicholas saw some brand new MGs that look good cars. My local dealer bought one new. Okay, bought his dad's Monogram ZTT. That sounds like a nice car. Oh, so yeah, Griffey left motability and bought a step wagon instead. That's quite a different car, but useful, practical. Yeah, the lava wheels. Yeah, so going back to the grinding this car. Morning, Gary. Yeah, those are really good for getting stuff off. Acid dip the Merc and watch it dissolve. You need to find a tank big enough. Yeah. Yeah, I think with your Rover 45, I'm stuck on this, are Rover 45's ULEZ or not. I know that the certain K-series engines after like 2003, they did get them certified. So yours, just put your number plate in the thing, it might be good. Oh, Charlie's just joined as a Furious Driver member. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to get a discount code for the store. Wiki says, give me some money. Yeah, Wiki's been saying that a lot recently. Have I worked out, if you get a Renault 5 EV, what realistically would the C5 estate get you to spend on the... to be honest, I've bought the C-Class on like a bank loan basically, and because I've put so many miles in the car, it's basically depleting in value at the same rate the loan is going down. So by the time I've paid it off, it'll be worth zero. So at the moment, if I sold the car, I'd have no money at all back from it. So yeah, selling the C-Class, it would be like a, not negative exactly, it'd be like a nil effect kind of a situation. Yeah, 2005 and bust. So yeah, your ULEZ compliant is it's Euro 4 and 2005 Rover and bust. Yeah, that must be one of the very, very last ones. One of us. Welcome, Charlie. Yeah, I saw something about Rover coming back as well, possibly coming back as like a sub brand. Because is it Tata who own it? I think. I can't remember. Okay, interesting. The MG4 break a lot. I know my mum and dad have got an MG. They had an MG5 Estate, and they've now got the smaller, faster one. They've had no problems with it. They have it the second car though, because they've got a four-wheel drive for towing stuff, and they use the electric thing for not towing stuff, and they've got classic cars as well. Jack Scott, never driven an EV, but I can't imagine being a particularly engaging driving experience. Do you know what? That's how I expected it to be, and I've driven quite a lot of them now. And in some cases, you're 100% right. Some of them, it is very. People who love EVs love the silence of it and the fact it's so quiet and smooth. But as somebody who likes a lumpy V8, that's going to be a real turn-off. It depends on the car. Surprisingly, the Renault Zoe I actually really enjoyed because it's got a really good chassis on it, and you can chuck it into a corner. You can actually have a little bit of fun because it's a light car. You don't really feel the weight of the batteries in it too badly. That's a good one. And as I've never made any secret of the fact, I hate automatic gearboxes. It really destroys the driving experience for me. I actually prefer driving an electric car to an automatic because with autos, you get that lag. It's never quite in the right gear. Even the best ones, even like the 9-speed super duper thing, which someone told me off in the comments the other day for saying that my 9-speed wasn't very good in the C-Class. It's never ready. It's never quite ready. It's never as prepared as a manual. You don't have that interaction. With the EV, because there's no gears, it's just on or off, it's drive. You're always in the right gear, so you don't have that delay. So I actually kind of prefer driving an electric to an automatic. Not as much as I like driving a manual, but I prefer the electric to the automatic. So from that point of view, it's okay. It very much comes down to the chassis. The ID3 I think is a little bit boring. Kia EV9 was super luxurious but used so much electricity that was not great. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Renault 5 EV though. That would be very exciting to see how that drives. Putting the kettle on. Another coffee, black with nothing, thanks. If you've only got tea though, I'll take the strongest tea you can possibly make. Dash of milk, no sugar, thank you. I've been lucky with Luke. Lucky with my Mercedes being a 2005, so only a couple of rust spots. That'll be a W203, and yeah, they do go badly. Oh, Uni, only a member of one channel and following one Patreon, both of which are me. You know, probably not getting great value from that because I put the same content on both. Catherine says, I had a 2006 Rover 25. I think it's Rover 25, not a Renault 25. That was very bankrupt stock as it had been out of production for 25 years at that point. Ridiculously spec'd up, but you didn't get a warranty for a brand new car. Okay, yeah. Ridiculously undersupported for spares. Yeah, of course, yeah, because there's just no one to do it. Jack says, I imagine driving EVs more like driving a computer. Again, it depends on the car. Some of them are really, really sort of loaded in gadgets and technology and stuff, and they really kind of don't interact with you. Other ones, say like the Renault Zoe, which I'm sort of tempted to get a cheap Renault Zoe. I think they're interesting. They're not particularly over-spec'd, and so you can drive it like you're driving a nice Clio, basically, and you can actually have a nice time with it. This is fun. The reason I got the step wagon is that the seat base is the same height as my rear end, so I don't ruin my back by having to drop into the seat. Yep. I've never gone round to a car dealership with a tape measure before. Oh, Charlie says, just realised I wasn't a member. Oh, thank you for joining. I really do appreciate that. If any members want to gift memberships, I don't know if it costs you anything to gift a membership, but it gets people into the gang. Oh, Chalky Biscuits, yeah. Oh, Jammy Dodgers would be very nice indeed. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I've discovered I'm gluten intolerant, so I can't have Jammy Dodgers unless they're special ones, which is annoying. Oh, W211 E-Class, only the 4-cylinder. Nice car though, super comfy. Charlie, oh, you didn't get mushrooms? I'm not having them. Not having the full English. No mushrooms, not having it. Staffordshire tea, I've not seen that one. Yorkshire tea make a big fuss, but I've never seen Staffordshire tea yet. Oh, Uni, thank you very much indeed. I really do appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Super chat does help keep the tea fun going. Hubnut's finished. Ha! Lightweight. Oh, hello, Sydney. Daniel from Sydney, not Sydney. Yeah, I guess this is talking about Rovers. Old dealerships and eBay, best place for spares these days. If you're into Rovers, then definitely recommend discount MG Rover supplies down on the south coast. They're really, really good. And if you've got a European car, then whatever country it came from, hit the eBay for that country, the Alpha 145. I find Italian eBay really useful for that, actually. Yeah, turbo, no changing gears. There's no robotized or manual gearbox or no turbo lag either. So yeah, good morning, Sid. Where have you been? We're an hour and a half into it. Does Barry make decent tea? I'll pop around in that case then. Yeah, the weld. Returning to where we started again. The welding does look like it's going to be a bit of a dirge, a drag, a miserable day in the driveway. Oh, here we go. Try Barry's tea from Ireland. Lovely strong Brit. That's why I like it. Oh, Richard's got to go do decorating. I should probably do decorating. I don't like decorating much. It's tea made in Staffordshire. It does what it says in the tin. I do know, Jack, I do know someone with an E-up, and I'm trying to persuade them to let me drive it for a test drive because I'm really curious to see what that one's like. But yeah, the more basic ones do tend to be quite good. But the MG, what's it called? The kind of focusy type hatchback one. I really like that one. It's got a lot of kit on it, and it does feel a bit plasticky and a bit cheap, but it's a ton of kit and it drives really well. Staffordshire, no, they're clay teapots, yep. Yorkshire tea did a blend for hard water areas. And that's interesting because we're in a really hard water area down here in Kent. I get through a kettle in about 18 months, probably. And you should see the state of our shower head to soak it in like pure limescale remover every so often. Oh, Nicholas, where are you? MG and Rover breakers, because there's none around here. I'm guessing you must be sort of up the A1 somewhere. Yes, 151 watching. Oh, only 51 likes. I can't see that. Oh, 93 likes it says on me. So I guess that call out for likes worked. Maxi9, hello. Oh, you've just caught the end. You might have to go back and rewatch from the beginning. My coffee's gone cold. What's left of it? MG Beehive, yeah, that's supposed to be very good. My advice, avoid the dirge and sell the Merc. Yeah, that does take us back to where we started. I mean, everything is expensive. Even like these bits of trim are like crazy expensive. But if I was heartless, I would be sitting on an absolute gold mine right now. I could, yeah, definitely buy some new toys quite happily with all the bits of car. But it just feels like such a nice car. There's a little bit of wear in the seat down here. I can't move the camera. What I can do. I can take a photo of it and show you the photo. That's the only bit of wear on the interior, on the bolster down there. So generally speaking, it's a really, really nice interior. The headlining is perfect. It would be such a shame to bin this thing off. Yeah. People have been an hour and a half in, people have come back to where we started. Money spent on the Merc could be at least twice money spent on the Mini. Now that's actually an interesting point. Early Mark II Minis are worth a serious amount of money. If these cars are both, the Mini and the Merc, are both in immaculate good condition, I think the Mini would actually be worth twice what the Mercedes is worth. Bizarrely, pound for pound, the value is ridiculous. Oh, Paulie, I'll divert onto gluten for a minute because this is really making me unhappy and miserable at the minute. There's a variety of symptoms you can get, basically from upset stomach, bloated stomach, needing to go to the toilet quite a lot and quite violently, headaches, feeling a bit sick, also depression, feeling really sad and unmotivated, all come from gluten. And I had a bunch of tests from the doctor trying to figure out why I wasn't feeling well, and he couldn't find anything, and then I cut out gluten and suddenly feel absolutely fine. So I don't think I've got like an allergy, which is a more serious medical thing and linked to the actual serious problem, which if you eat any gluten, it actually does damage to you. I think it's just an intolerance. So try cutting out bread, try and find the go. Fortunately, because it's actually really, really common these days, because they've changed the way that grain is grown for higher yield, and they've changed the way that they mill it, and they use more of the grains and stuff that was used to be rubbish and thrown away is now part of what they use in bread. More people are allergic or intolerant of the stuff they're feeding us basically in the shops. So head to all the supermarkets have now got much bigger aisles of biscuits and cereals and breads and rolls and all kinds. So you can eat gluten free now, thank goodness, and I feel really, really good on it now. So yeah, if you've got upset stomach, you just feel ill all the time, feel sad, tired. Yeah, Paul, it sounds like you've got a gluten problem. Try cutting it out. It takes a couple of days for it to leave your system, but then after a couple of days you should feel better. And one thing I have found is you can buy gluten enzyme tablets online, and if you're in a situation where you can't avoid gluten or have eaten it by mistake, which I did the other day, I thought McDonald's hash browns were gluten free because I thought it's just potato that's been fried. Turns out they've got a wheat battery coating on it. And I ate 2 of them, so I had one of these gluten tablets, didn't have a problem afterwards. They're like £16 for 30 of them online. But yeah, I should probably go and do a side channel thing on Tea Break about this, because I think a lot of people, I've been doing a bit of research about it, it's something like 10% of people in the UK probably have got gluten intolerance, but not many people don't get diagnosed. The blood tests for it, the doctor did say probably won't show anything. They did a blood test and it didn't show anything. So more people have got it than are known about having it, interestingly. So yeah, if that's how you're feeling, let us know. Cut it out and hopefully you'll feel better in a few days. If that's all your symptoms, it probably is that. So ditching back to car stuff briefly. Firstly, someone's just crashed their car into a garage. I wish I had the camera out. I'll go and get can you post pictures in the stick it on one of the social media things, on post and tag us all in it. Was the Merc or the Crown Vic worse? Well, the passenger side rust on the Crown Vic was actually worse because I wound up cutting the entire sill off the side of the Crown Vic. However, the Crown Vic is a body-on-frame car, so it wasn't actually too bad of an issue. It was bad, but it wasn't like the end of the world. This is a monocoque chassis, so yeah, that would be more serious, and there's more scope for the car to twist, go wrong, go out of shape, and the door's not ever open and closed properly again. Going back to food, I read somewhere that 75% of people are lactose intolerant. Most just get gassy after consume it. The first thing I did try was actually cutting out lactose for a couple of weeks, and I was slightly better, but not completely better, because a lot of things, there's a lot of crossover between foods that got both lactose and gluten taken out. So yeah, I've gone back to milk and I feel kind of okay, but yeah, I think probably lactose is a bigger problem. 5 pot, yeah. I think a lot of the cheaper breads have the worst mix, but it's no guarantee, because obviously any kind of wheat or any kind of, it's rye, wheat and barley are the three that get you, and some people have problems with only one of those. You can get tested for that. Yeah, so it might just be whatever grain they're using more of in the white bread. Yeah. Yeah, the welding, Jason, it's a challenge. If I do it myself, it's a big challenge. If it's done, I've spoken to professionals. Obviously, no one can give a accurate figure, because it's like an iceberg. You don't know how far it goes on, so you can't give an accurate quote. But yeah, they're saying it's going to run into the thousands. Yeah, I don't know how bad so the intolerances and things are in America, because they're normally really on top of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, American food standards compared to European food standards are just awful. So I've no idea how things would be getting on over there. Oh, any chance of getting a road test of a Renault 14? I'd love to. I don't know if there are any left or not. I've not seen one in so long. Stefan, I'm very good, thanks. I'm had a very busy week, actually, doing a lot of photos, not doing YouTube video, but editing YouTube videos and fixing this thing, or not fixing it. Where did I just read a comment I needed to read? I can't find it now. Yeah, removing that rubbery underseal is going to be a horrible mess. Will I do a garage cleaning and shelf building video? Yes, I will. I'll stick it on Furious T-Brake, the side channel. Yeah, and that'll be a big job. I've been sort of looking at, we're going on to, what's it called, Temu, because I do a lot of garage storage solutions. But what I'm thinking is moving everything off the floor along the sidewall, which you can't see behind me. So I'm currently where I'm sat, I'm to the right of the garage, as if you're standing at the front of it, and that's the garage wall just there. On that wall, everything that's on the floor is very much in the way. And move everything up to kind of above shoulder height, get lockers, get shelves, get hangers, move everything onto there. Then I can walk through more easily and just have things like the jacks and the axle stands on the floor below the height of where the car door mirrors are going to come through, so everything can be wheeled out. It's so much more practical, and then fit some more lockers and things. Because ages ago, I think before I started doing YouTube, I did actually save up so many points. Halfords used to have a points card, believe it or not. And it wasn't Halford's card, it was a credit card. And every time you spent money, you got a point, and then you could claim Halfords vouchers. I've got my red stack of toolboxes using Halfords points from a credit card. And yeah, built a really nice workbench, nice solid thing on it. All that stuff, fitted it in at the end, and then it's just gradually become more and more full over the years. And I need to just take it all out, have a big clear out, get a bunch of stuff on eBay. William says, talking back to the Mercedes again, and also Kevin, does the Mercedes need a floor? Fred Flintstone did with that one. Yeah. I think the amount of time and money you spend, it'll be a bit of a losing battle. Well, possibly. That's why I say I need to go and get all the underseal off that side. Yeah, Furious Cooking Channel. Yeah, gluten recipes. My wife's been really good. She's found some really good sort of cake recipes and things, and been making stuff. Yeah. Well, only yeah, the safety. So we'll go back to the Mercedes again. I've got 3 conversations at once now. Biggest concern with the Mercedes is the safety aspect of the strength of it, and that was my biggest concern as well. But the professional welders I've spoken to kind of said, well, if it's done well, it won't be a problem. It will be as strong, or stronger if it's done well. That caveat is the big thing. Dino Day. I was at Halfords during the Daewoo period. Oh my goodness! Wow, that'll be the day. I was doing my photography news course when that happened, and one of our assignments was to go to the Daewoo launch and take newsworthy photos for our coursework. On the Merc, you probably wind up, yes. So I just said probably wind up taking the whole rear axle out. Yeah, that is a big issue, because I need to find out what's behind all the mounting points, and it's a huge. If you've never seen underneath the W123 properly, the kind of rear axle subframe holder thing, it's a big kind of Y-shaped thing almost, and it looks like it looks naval. It looks like it's off a ship. It is such a big monster of a thing. And a Soup did take his off, I probably should have taken mine off years ago, but I wanted to try and keep the car mobile, really. Oh yeah, Ian bought his hubnut dehumidities from Halfords back in there. I've forgotten that. Yeah, old Mercedes rear springs, I usually feel more home on the interior. That is an issue. Hang on, will SCL, oh, the Sleaze, yes, sorry, I was thinking of the, yeah, which car is that? The P6. That's now stored in the garage because that'll keep the paint clean, because the dirt blows in. And again, I think working out here, when I put this car into the garage, my plan was work on it in the garage. Great, I've got the car undercover. The problem was it was completely trapped because there wasn't room even to walk past it. I folded the mirror and I could squeeze by. I couldn't dare put on a single gram of weight or go over the belt size because I wouldn't get past the car. And so no work got done on it. So out here, at least if I jack it up on one side or wherever, I can at least work on it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna set their underseal off to have a proper look. How do you remove the underseal without ripping the metal off? Well, the thing is, if the metal's soft enough to be ripped off with the underseal, then it needed to come out anyway. That's the unfortunate answer. So you just got a grinder, either wire brush or those lava discs. Oh, that's a clever idea, Steve. Take out the side wall of the garage and fit folding doors so you can walk straight through sideways. I don't know how structurally strong it would be, but that's a great idea. I think after the Crown Vic drama on mental health, we welcome not facing even worse job. Yeah, to be fair, when I saw more of that, I was like, oh my goodness. And do you know what? I was on my looking through Facebook first thing this morning, and the memory that popped up was the Alpha 145 when I took it around to my friend's garage when we were discovering the terrible rust in that, funnily enough. So there wasn't a Halfords credit card. It was I forget, MBNA, a Bank of America credit card or something like that. And they gave like shopping points and you could pick the shop. And yeah, so I chose Halfords vouchers. Daniel Taylor, didn't know T-brake existed. Basically, whenever I did a junk in the trunk video, it was hugely popular with a lot of people, but also massively unpopular with other people. And it really hurt the algorithm of YouTube. And a lot of people unsubscribed if they saw T-brake. So I decided to make what do you call it, junk in the trunk. So I moved junk in the trunk to a new side channel, which is also where I could do other stuff that's not kind of so much directly car related, because some people get really funny. I mean, you're probably going to say, I don't understand, I would never unsubscribe because a channel's done something slightly different. That's not what everyone says. Some people are really specifically easily annoyed, and so you have to be careful and cater for this kind of thing. Yeah, Al. Yeah, this is what I think I might have just said a minute ago, roughly, but probably not worded so succinctly. The Crown Vic rust looked worse than Mercedes rust, but it wasn't structural because that's body on frame. The body of the car is basically for keeping the rain off. On this car, the sills and everything are really important. Yeah, Clive, every pound spent on the Mini will be worth double or triple that spent on the Mercedes. Kind of probably right. Yeah, I think I did look at similar Minis, and one of them was like 25,000 for a similar Mini to the one I've got in bits in the barn. But Yorkshire car restorers, I know who you mean. I think though they would not be doing it for free. Put it that way. They would want time, pounds per hour. Try using a CO2 fire extinguisher than a hammer. That's an idea. Yeah. There's a question. Do I think MGs and Rovers from the 80s and 90s were stuck in that stagnant area? They've risen a bit recently. I've noticed they have gone up. There's a double-edged sword here. Because Rover's gone, there's now no younger generation people in their 20s and even 30s don't have any negative connotations of Rover being bad, naff, old-fashioned, whatever. Keeping up appearances means nothing to them. So they've not got anything like this dragging the value down. On the other hand, though, the other positive side, I guess, 80s, 90s cars, especially the wedgier stuff, is getting really popular. It's really cool at the moment. So I think there will be a little peak in it before it falls down again. So I think they will rise up a bit. Things like the coupes, those have gone up really high. It's the 5-door hatches and things that I don't think are ever really going to hit huge value. It sounds like a mid-range Sierra, although Ford tax means that's worth quite a lot. It's comparatively the least valuable. So I think there will be a bit of a rise as the 80s, 90s wave continues to break. But yeah, I think probably not going to get huge value, but they are going to go up a little bit more. Yeah, Auto Alex, Roger the BMW. I don't think that was done for free at Yorkshire Restorations. There'd have been an invoice for that, and it would have been a large one. Why don't Honda make vans? Do you know, I never thought about that. Do they not make vans? Honda Acti. That's a van. Oh yeah, Honda CEO is definitely a petrol head though. Oh, you're off and attack out. Well, have a good day. Nissan Stanza went for about £5,000. Wow. Yeah, rarity factor because yeah, they weren't saved for a long time. Rust and head gaskets killed an awful lot of cars, which makes them less popular. When Furious Junior starts learning to drive, what will I give him lessons in? Well, he's already claimed the Rover Coupe. He says he wants the Tomcat as his sort of first car. He wants that to be his car, but he also wants like something, doesn't really care what to learn in, but he wants the Rover Coupe to be his once he's passed his test and he's got a bit of experience. So I've got to keep it going another 4 years at least, 5 years or something. But yeah, probably find something non-normal, because the less predictable, the better the insurance tends to be on young drivers, because yeah, they tend to stack the insurance on probability of an accident, and if you see a lot of say 1.1 litre Fiestas, 1.1 Fiestas all crashing, the insurance goes up. 2 litre Rover 600s, for example, no 17-year-olds drive them, so the insurance is potentially less. My nephew just bought a Toyota Paseo as his first car. Oh, brilliant. That's really cool. Right. I am now 107 minutes into this chat. My goodness. Oh, what happened to click? Sorry, what happened to clickbait? Can't seem to find the channel. The channel should still be live. I've not done anything for a few weeks. I've got a couple of things lined up for it. I've got a couple of cameras I'm ready to review. I'm just waiting for some films to come back so I can show some photos from them, from film cameras. I've got a couple of lenses I want to get reviews out on, and in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to briefly be on a new Cunard ship, which is designed to look like 1950s. So I'm planning a video trying to find a 1950s camera I can take on there, shoot the ship as if it was shot in the 1950s. So I'm trying to work out how I can fit my very brief time on this boat and do like a side project while I'm there. But yeah, that clickbait should still be there. I don't think it's been taken off by YouTube. They've not told me if they have. But yeah, the problem with clickbait is I love doing the videos, but it takes a long time to do them and they're not monetized yet. So it's hard to fit them into my schedule to do them when everything else. Yeah, Rolleiflex would be good. They're quite expensive though. I was thinking of there are some really nice mid-century style folding cameras, like a 120 format single lens. What's the phone? Them. Not linked to viewfinder. Rangefinder. Yeah. Am I over 100,000? No, it's simply stuck at 98 and a bit for the last ages. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you know someone isn't, go and tell them to subscribe. Oh, the link in my bio doesn't work. Okay, as soon as I'm off here, I'll go and have a look at that. That's curious. Thanks for letting me know. The other channel's called Clickbait is the camera one, and there is Furious T-Brake, which is a side channel to this channel. I had a Mark III Fiesta as my first car. To ensure it cost more than the car's worth. Yeah, that's sadly popular now. Oh, that's interesting. Alex's BMW Roger still has a semi-knackered engine, as it was going to get an engine swap. Yorkshire Car Restorations, purely bodywork. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think that's all they were down for, isn't it? Looks amazing, but doesn't drive very well. Okay, so I wonder what engine they're going to swap into. I wonder if they've got a plan for a engine upgrade in that car, in that case. Saab 9000 Turbo late edition in good condition went for £600. Wow, that's a bargain. Yeah, price for insurance has gone a bit ridiculous lately. You don't want to know what I paid for the fleet insurance this year, but it was a chunk more than it was last year. And yeah, maybe question many things. Oh, Dave going to a car thing in Tewkesbury, Massachusetts. Massachusetts, which if you remember the old Kenny Everett sketch. Yeah, look out for P6s and Crown Vics. Oh, Z4M. Yeah, well, next time I'm down that way, I'll try and give you drop me an email, Dan, with your contact details, because I can't search the comments, and the comments that are on the live chat vanish as soon as we end. Professional, yes, please keep clicking the like buttons and the sub buttons. No, you're welcome, Alan. I am going to call it a day now because I've left. It's massive Massachusetts with a big teeth because of what's it called, the 70s band. Show my age, but not old enough. Oh God, what was the band that Massachusetts that Kenny Everett was doing? The three brothers, the Gibb brothers. Oh, the Bee Gees. Crikey, brains failing after too long. Yeah, Google Massachusetts. Right, gonna go watch ACL. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, the best possible taste. Right, I'm gonna go say goodbye. Thank you, Gibb brothers. How did we get from Rusty Mercedes to the Bee Gees? Via many other things. Time for fresh coffee. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday lunches. Enjoy your Sunday walks, drives, visits to the pub, whatever else. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you all very soon indeed. I'm glad you got to this one. And many more. Luke, if you ever listen to Scott Mills, he's now on Radio 2, was on Radio 1, or sings a happy birthday song with and many more at the end. It's entertaining. Right. Goodbye, everybody. Have a lovely day.